Welcome to Commander's Comments. I'm your producer for the evening, Harrison F. Daws, your Deputy Chief of Heritage Operations and Promotions. And of course, I'm joined by the man of the hour, the man that show's named after, our Commander-in-Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy.
Thank you, sir.
And tonight we are also joined by Past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshers. And another famous person, some would say infamous, but I say famous, past Chief of Heritage Operations and Chairman of the 21st Century Confederate Heroes Program, Mr. Ron Kennedy.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Harrison. I appreciate it so much. And Harrison wears many hats in the SCB, and I really, really appreciate the work that Harrison and Connor. I cannot forget Connor Bonds. That y'all are doing a great job on SCB chat, on Around the Confederation, on Commander's Comment. It really gives our memberships an opportunity to see what's going on in the Sons of Confederate Veterans and to give us some feedback. Let us know what you think, what may need to be done, changed a little different. And I'm going to give a heads up to our past Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshers. He's been hard at work. I talk to him probably every other day and about something going on in the SCV. And he has a certificate that we're going to show off here in a little while that he has helped put together for us, and many, many other things that he does. And of course, Ron, I appreciate you. Every day, usually every morning and sometime in the afternoon, Ron and I will make a phone call. You know, he's down there in the swamps near Lake Pontchartrain, down in the woods down there, and I'm up in the woods in North Louisiana. I've often told people, they ask me, well, how far do you live from your brother? I said, well, I can be in Little Rock, Arkansas, or probably Dallas, Texas, before I can be at his back porch. So that's how far we are apart. But anyway, I appreciate these gentlemen, and it's so many people out there that are doing so much for the organization. And really, it's not so much for the organization, it's for the cause of the South, for our ancestors, for their legacy, honoring them and defending their good name, and really defending what this country was established to represent. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, because this coming year, we're going to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. And folks, SCV members, UDC members, Order of Confederate Rose, all of these are MOS&B, all these organizations, we need to get our heads together and really push and let the world know that Declaration of Independence, it means what it says when it says that a free people have the right to, quote, alter or abolish any government that does not suit them, and to establish a new government more to their liking. Kind of like what our Confederate forefathers did. And I believe, if I'm not correct, Ron, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I do believe the Declaration of Independence tells us that the only legitimate government is one that exists by the consent of the governed. Somehow or another, I don't see bloody bayonets as a form of consent unless you're a tyrant. And now we're talking about Abraham Lincoln. I'll be doggone. All right, so with that said, let's get started here. I want to just mention a few of the upcoming events that's coming up this in between now and December anyway. And of course, everyone should know, we've sent out on the Telegraph and the Confederate Legion newsletters. This Saturday at headquarters, that's September the 6th, I believe, this coming Saturday, we will be having a Confederate Legion training session. There you go. There you go. A Confederate Legion training session. Now, this training session, folks, is to train people that can go back to their camps and their division and say, look, heritage operation is a special instrument that we can use to promote and defend our heritage. There are tools that the SCV has acquired and are using that we need in our camp level to get involved with and get behind in doing this. So we need you at this Confederate Legion training session. If you have not already signed up, if you think it's too late, don't worry. Show up. If we don't have enough box lunches, I'll feed you one from Ron Kennedy. He don't need any anyway. He's too big. And we will see to it. It's a simple $15. You see there on the form there. It's only $15. And Ron, I want to ask you, we can get this form out of the way here. Ron, what will they get for that $15 at this Confederate Legion training session?
Well, first of all, let me make sure everyone understands you do not have to be a member of the Confederate Legion in order to attend. We want you as a member, and we hope by the time you attend and talk to us and see what all we're doing, that you'll certainly support and be a part of it. But you don't have to be a member of the Confederate Legion to attend this training session. You're going to end up, Donald, do you have that booklet, by the way? Go find it. I don't have mine.
Well, I just put them in the car so I wouldn't forget them.
Oh, he put them all in the car. Well, we have a booklet that we printed up to give you more information than you can get in the seminar. But we're going to start promptly at 9 o'clock. Registration will start around 8:30. Yeah, there's a booklet, the Confederate Legion Handbook. So we've got a handbook for the Confederate Legion. Again, it's got a lot of information that we'll make reference to during the training session. You'll also, by the way, you'll get your pen if you're a Confederate Legion member. Donald, you bring in your pen, the pens.
Yes, they're in the car too.
You got them in your car already, okay?
If I don't forget the car, we're okay.
All right, okay. Now we're going to go over a lot of things. And matter of fact, I see down on number 7, Heritage Promotion, we'll talk about some of the things we're doing. But the idea is I want you to leave there, number one, understanding why it's important to be a force multiplier in your camp. So we need individuals in the camp who are activists, who are the catalysts for promoting various heritage promotion and preservation and defense issues. And that's going to be the emphasis of the training. We're going to go over the various tools. We drug our past Commander-in-Chief Jason Boshers in. He's going to wind the day up with having his computer wired into the website and show you how exactly we can do the one-click politics. He's going to give you a background on, and I'm taking some of his thunder, so I won't talk too much, but this can be used in Brandon, Mississippi, if you need it. This can be used, and we've already used it in Stone Mountain. This is something that we can use, and we've got some new ideas coming up with it, and Jason's going to bring us up to date on that. That's a great tool that the SCV pays for out of your dues money. We're also going to go over how do you come up with what we refer to as your agents of influence in your local communities. How do you get the list? Where do you find them? And I'll give you some examples on how to do it. We're going to give you a handout on how to sign up for the telegraph. So you've got that information. We need somebody in every camp to go back to the camp and say, here's how you sign up for the telegraph. You need to be on the telegraph. And I don't know about you, Commander Boshers, but I find that when I go to camps and ask people how many people are signed up to the telegraph, only 1 or 2 hands come up. Now, maybe that's just Louisiana and they too busy crawfishing and they haven't been doing it. But we need all of our people signed up on the telegraph so you can get this information when we send it out. We've got information on various other things that you'll leave with information in your hand that you can go back and apply to your local community. And that is the important thing, because remember, you as a Confederate Legion member or as an activist in your camp, you are the force multiplier. So when we do a billboard campaign, for example. And we got another billboard campaign coming up in Confederate History Month, April of 2026. Oh, Lord. Boy, somebody's getting old. I remember when it turned from 1959 to 1960. We thought that was hard. You remember that, Donald? How
I
we going
wonder if Harrison remembers that.
1960. Jeepers creepers. Now we're 2026, April. We're going to have our another billboard campaign. And I see Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin was in the chat over here. He's pushing that again. He's helping, and we're going to do a lot of force multiplying. We're going to have more billboards, and we're going to get more information out to the local people through what I call contacting your local agents of influence. Our Paul Graham calls you keyboard warriors. He'll talk about that, how you can actually sit at your desk, sit in your office, and do a tremendous amount of positive effort to promote. Yeah, there you go. I love that. So we want our Confederate Legion folks to end up boy, but anyway, we want you all to leave knowing that, yes, I'm a keyboard warrior. I know how to contact people, the agents of influence in our local community. So we will have a great opportunity. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to start off with most of it's PowerPoint and a speaker, but we got plenty of breaks. We're going to have a lot of visitation. That sounds like a funeral. We'll have a lot of visiting and a lot of camaraderie. And we want to know what you are doing that we haven't thought about, because there's a lot of things people are doing that we haven't even thought about. We want to add it and pass it along to other camps as we do this training in other parts of the country. And let me say, we've done one in Beauvoir, in Biloxi, Mississippi. We're doing this one at Elm Springs in Columbia at National Headquarters. We sure would like to have someone sponsor something in the Army of Northern Virginia, also Trans-Mississippi over in the Missouri, Texas area. And this North Carolina, we got a we'll talk about that later, but we've got we would like to do some more of these trainings in other areas. We'll need your help to find that. And but the main thing is that when you leave here at this training session, you're going to have a lot of good information to take back to your camp, and hopefully you will be the heritage promotion officer in your camp. You will be the catalyst, the spark plug, the man that pushes the camp and says, yes, we've got to get out, reach out to the community. And this is the whole idea of winning in the court of public opinion.
That's right.
If we have the public on our side, and we'll go over the some of the polls that we've done to show that we've got the general attitude of the people of the South is on our side, but we've got to activate. It's passive, and we've got to turn it into an active support, which is very, very easy as compared to convincing them on something that they're already to change their mind on something. Their hearts are already with us. We've just got to put some fire in the belly, and we can prevent a lot of these assaults that come against our monuments, our heritage, our Confederate flags, that type of thing. We can prevent it from ever happening. Or if it does happen, we will have the public support that will allow us to convince the local elected officials, who sometimes are a little weak-kneed. They usually bend to the what do they say? The squeaking wheel gets the grease. Well, usually it's the Black Lives Matter, NAACP types that are doing the squeaking and squealing. Well, we've got to make sure our political leaders understand that this is something that is absolutely important to us, and we are organized, and we will do whatever it takes under a legal system now, but we will do whatever is legally and legitimate takes to defend our heritage. I think that's enough. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all Saturday at Elm Springs.
All right, thank you, Ron. And moving right along, in October, these are some events coming up. In October the 4th, we will have our General Executive Council meeting there at headquarters. And Jason, I believe we've got a car show then, don't we? Or do we not?
Yes, sir, we do. The local camp, San Joaquin's Camp number 29, will be hosting a car show. We did it there last year. We've renamed it. We're calling it the Southern Showdown. And, we were attempting to host it back in May at our pilgrimage at homecoming. And if you'll remember, that was a complete rain out.
Yeah.
And we had so we canceled it. And it did so well last year, having it the same weekend as the General Executive Council meeting, that we decided to do it again. We've been promoting it, pushing it. So yes, sir, we will. And the Commander-in-Chief is going to be giving out his choice, a Commander-in-Chief choice, whichever car you wish. Do you remember what car it was last year?
If I'm not certain, but I'm sure it was a 1950s, 56, 55, 54 Chevy, I believe.
Yes,
that's
correct.
my heart. Man, my heart is just, if I see an Impala, 57 Chevy Impala, oh man, that is beautiful. Especially if we got 327, 4. But oh well, let's don't get talking. Okay, we'll see y'all on the 4th. Y'all come on out. As you know, the GEC is open to all members unless we have to go into executive session, and then as soon as that's over, you are welcome back. Space is limited, so all 25, 30,000 y'all can't show up. I wish you would, but there's only room for so many people in the library. But we will be there. Y'all are more than welcome to come and ask questions, etc. Now, in December the 5th and the 6th, we've got the tour of homes that normally takes place there. Jason, can you just tell just a little bit about the tour of homes, what all is going on there? Do you mind?
I'll be happy to, Commander. That is the Murray County a Christmas tour of homes. Elm Springs is located within Columbia, Tennessee, and that's located within Murray County. And Elm Springs has been on it for years. I know at least 20 years that they have been on it. And they've been one of the places that people always come and buy tickets as well. So it's been a pivot point for that. And we'll be open on Friday and Saturday. The museum will be open. Come and get tickets, and you can get them. Just do a Google search, and I'll get it to Moose, and we can get it displayed on here where everybody can go and buy tickets. And you can come do the Murray County Tour of Homes. I believe you've done it, haven't you, Commander?
I haven't. I intend to come back this year if I possibly can, because I really enjoy it. I didn't see everything. That's the thing about it, but it is really good. All right, moving on, and this is somewhat related. I do want to let y'all know that I've been talking with Adam Southern, our executive director, and we're working hard at getting a billboard somewhere just south of Nashville around Franklin that will advertise our museum. Now, the one that we're looking at right now, this is a temporary 1-month deal. It's an electronic ad, but it will advertise the museum, and it'll give our URL code. It'll tell, just basically have a picture of Robert E. Lee, National Confederate Museum, Columbia, Tennessee, and then a little bit, just a few that. Remember, billboards are basically anywhere from a 5 to 8 second shot. Yeah, so you got to make it quick. You can't say everything you want to say. But what we're trying to do is let people in the Nashville area and people that travel up and down that interstate know that there is a National Confederate Museum that is an unwoke museum. It gives real American history. And what we're doing, we're getting our foot in the door with the billboard company so that they'll see what we're all about, and they're happy with us. And we're hoping, if all goes well, again, if all goes well, we can get a more permanent, fixed billboard in the Nashville area. Now, again, it'll be in the Nashville area. It won't be in downtown. I wish it was right across from the Grand Ole Opry, but that would be prohibited in as far as expense. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Tony Griffin for his assistance. We have a budgeted item for the SCV. It's budgeted for heritage promotion and for getting our name out. And part of this billboard is being paid through the Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief's retention and recruitment fund. So this is going to help to recruit people. It lets people know. So he's helping out on that. The Confederate Legion is helping out. And of course, our budgeted item is helping out. Also, and I want to let you know this, we're doing some major advertising in some journals that are very, let's just say they're conservative journals, because they're people who feel about the Constitution and patriotism the way that we do. We're advertising the Confederate Museum there. And one other thing we're doing, we've got we're redoing our video and our website for the museum. So when you go to that, you'll see a little bit different information, and we're letting people know that we're open on Saturdays now. So all that is being done, and we're making progress. Yes, Ron.
I just want to make sure everyone knows that on those journal ads that we run, we put the QR code for the if walls could talk. So right. It is, a lot of people say, well, you're just advertising the museum. Well, yes, we are, but we're also advertising the Sons of Confederate Veterans through that QR code as well. So it's a double hit.
Yeah. And one of the things you'll have to remember, the society we live in now, unfortunately, we can't put big old battle flags out on these billboards. The companies won't do it because they're afraid of getting destroyed. So we have to I'm putting pictures of Robert E. Lee. Everybody loves Robert E. Lee. Well, everybody except the idiots. But anyway, he's recognizable. He's second only to recognition than the Confederate battle flag. So that his picture will be on the billboards, etc. And also on your ads that we're running in these periodicals across the nation. This is nationwide coverage here. We are advertising the Confederate Museum. We can get museum advertising, whereas if we just advertise the Sons of Confederate Veterans with our logo, it's turned down. I don't like it. You don't like it. But we have to deal with the situation that we find ourselves in. If we do our work correctly, 5-10 years down the road, it will no longer be a problem. So that I just want to let you know what's going on there. Now, one other thing coming up in, and this is way ahead, but in February of 2026, we've already got things lined up for a Stephen D. Lee Institute on February the 27th and 28th in Durham, North Carolina. It's at it'll be held at the right now. There you go. We're working right now with the hotel, and we believe we'll hopefully next week have a contract signed at the DoubleTree at Hilton Raleigh Durham Airport. So it's right close to the airport. You fly in the airport, you got a shuttle, go right over to the hotel, and you'll be out there. And all this right now, I'm telling you, we've got 3 speakers already lined up. I'm waiting on 2 more that we're trying to get. Once we get those, we'll put all that information on our website, Stephen D. Lee website, and we'll be good to go. And we're looking at, for the event, there's a meal Saturday and the meal Saturday night, and the lecture series. Looks like about $125 per person, which is relatively inexpensive for this type, man. And we're trying that now. At first, Frank, Ron, Paul, we all got to put our heads together and we said, it looks like it's going to be 150. And then Frank came back just today and he said, Donnie, I think we can do it for 125 and we'll still be in the good. And he's looking at that. So don't hold my feet to the fire on this. This is what we're trying to make it as inexpensive as possible. But please understand, these rooms, these good rooms and good location, these good speakers, they don't come free. We have to pay for them. So that's what we're doing there. So look for the Stephen D. Lee Institute coming soon. Now, I've got one more thing. Yes, Ron.
Well, I just wanted to, on the Stephen D. Lee, because we need to, we're emphasizing the fact that, the Declaration of Independence was probably the greatest secession document ever created by man. And most Americans don't know that. They don't understand that. And probably a lot of the even conservatives who should be on our side, journalists and podcasters, they don't understand that. But the times they are changing. Mooster, you have that. Were you able to pick up that picture on Canada? Show? Look, man. Guess what? Even our conservative friends who don't like secession and think secession is treasonous, they're all supporting Western Canadian secession, and some of them want them to join with the United States. So, the times are changing. It's different. This is a great opportunity for us to really show what we are, who we are, and the South was absolutely instrumental in not only helping to create, but due to the fighting in the lower South, we actually helped win the independence of these United States. So anyway, I just thought that was hilarious when I saw that.
I like that. That's good. All right, we're getting close to a Pop-Tart break, but I do want to mention I need a shout out to Charles LeRae and Roy Hudson. Gentlemen, I will have your information out on the Telegraph next week. I'm sorry, I've just had so much going on this week. I couldn't get it out. These are the two gentlemen so far that have thrown their keppies into, thrown their keppies into the ring. They don't throw hats in the SCV. We throw keppies. So these are the two gentlemen who are at present the only that be contending for our position as Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief. And Charles and Roy, I'll get that out next week. I apologize. I believe it or not, I have been busy. Jason can vouch for that because I've been bugging the heck out of him. So with that said, I will come back right after the Pop-Tart break, and I want just quickly mention a few of the victories we have and some of the things that we need to do to push these victories, and then we'll go ahead and talk about what the heck we can do to make sure that these victories last and we have total victory over our enemies. So with that said, Harrison, if you'll take us to a quick Pop-Tart break, that'll be great.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to. And as always, tonight's Pop-Tart break is sponsored by SCV Chat. If you want to make sure you can get good videos like this, easy to find, and a lot of other great historical content and educational content, please go check out scvchat.com. And if you want to sponsor SCV Chat and help us out, stay on the air, and promote our Southern heritage, please check us out on Patreon. We have a good couple tiers. If you just want to give some general support, we have a $2 Feed a Moose subscription. I didn't get to name that one. $10, you become a chat head. Your name gets played at the end of every episode. And, of course, you get behind-the-scenes content and the exclusive show and much more. If you want to get some SCV Chat merchandise, we have a $30 a month tier that you can get some extra SCV Chat merchandise. And if you want to fully sponsor the show, you can pay our $80 a month sponsor area, and you can sponsor the show. And speaking of sponsors, no one likes going to the hospital unless it's Dr. Cummins you're going to. So if you're in the upper Mississippi region and you just need to go to the doctor and you just really miss that Southern hospitality, go check out Dr. Chris Cummins. He specializes in knee pain. They'll treat you right. They'll treat you like a son and daughter of the South, and they'll make you leave the doctor actually smiling. So make sure to go check them out, and we'll be right back after this quick Pop-Tart break.
There is a place nestled in the rolling farmland of southern Middle Tennessee. A home constructed in 1837, nearly lost to the ravages of war. Saved by a servant and a Confederate general. A place where families loved and lost. If walls could talk, what stories could be told? If a place, a home, can feel love, loss, pain, surely this is one of those places. Nearby is a more recent structure, and inside are the stories of heroes and heroines, stories of battles won and lost, stories of sacrifices made by the people of its native soil. A place that will tell the true and complete story of the Southland and the war fought for its freedom. From the causes that led to the conflict to the modern-day struggles to protect Southern history. Historic Elm Springs and the Confederate Museum at Elm Springs are the general headquarters for the Sons of Confederate Veterans. A place where the story of the Southland and its historic struggle is preserved and told. Come and discover your history.
Thank you, Harrison. That was great. And every time I hear that, that if walls could talk, I'm really amazed at the brilliance of the gentleman that put that together, the narrative and the narration. They fit like hand in glove. Ron, was that you that wrote that?
No, that's too good for a Kennedy. It wasn't one of mine. It's somebody a lot smarter than us that wrote that.
I agree with you there. It sure sounds better than you or me doing the voiceover. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, but between the voiceover and Commander Boshers' fine work with writing the script, that is a great. And I look forward to seeing that on national TV one day.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because if y'all will notice in this issue, this just recent issue of the Confederate Veteran, one we just came out with, I make a statement in there that in the future, the Confederate Veteran magazine, we're going to have some postcards in there that we can send out to people to let them know who we are and what they need to do and why we don't agree with some of the things they're saying. In the next issue, which would be the November or December issue, we have 2 postcards in there inserted. All we got to do is pull them out and just sign them. And if you want to put your return address, even more better, put a stamp on it, drop it in the mail. They're going to 2 people at Fox News. Now, here's the deal. Fox News is supposed to be fair and balanced. But when it comes to dealing with Southern history, and especially the Confederate history, they're anything but fair and certainly not balanced. So we're sending Fox News, we're sending to Sean Hannity and Jesse Waters in care of Fox News, and it's already addressed, these postcards that's telling them, hey, you're saying things that are very offensive to us and our ancestors. If you are fair and fair and balanced, why don't you allow the Sons of Confederate Veterans to give the other side of the story? And I'm speaking generalities. You'll see the verbiage when you get in there. But another thing that's interesting is that QR code is on there. So somebody at Fox News that will be reading will be listening to that QR code. Now, if just the 4 of us send those cards in, that'll be eight cards. Fellas, they're gonna laugh at you. If only 100 or 500, that's better. But if 5,000, 10,000, 15, look, we've got subscribers now to the Confederate Veteran probably up to over 30,000. If all 30,000 of those cards got sent in, can you imagine up in New York City in Fox News when they're getting all these cards? And listen, they're not just getting cards from the Deep South. They're getting them from Oregon, from Washington, from California, from Michigan. New England even has we have members up there. We have camps and this is where, and I've stressed this many times, our non-Southern members are so vitally important to this organization, because when Fox News start getting a bunch of cards from Oregon and California saying, hey, you're not treating these our Southern heritage correctly, they're going to start doing a head scratching and say, wait a minute, that's not just a bunch of people down in Tennessee and Mississippi. There's something else is going on here. But listen, it will not help if they only get 200 or 300. It doesn't cost, but the cost of a stamp, 2 stamps, roughly you're talking about $1.25 or so. If you hurry up and buy your stamps, before they go up to $1 a piece, it don't cost anything, and you're going to have a great impact. Now, does that mean that next week they're going to be calling us up and asking for an interview? No, probably not, but we're setting the stage. In the next 2 months, we might go then to Newsmax. There are other groups out there. We need to let them know who we are. And listen, we've got our side of the story to tell. So keep this in your head, that in the November, December issue, you will be getting those cards. Let's get those cards out. There's so many things that we can do as an organization that doesn't really cost us that much, but it has a major impact. And hopefully, if I leave enough time, Harrison can tell us about some of the media things, social media things that we can do that will also help. Now, I want to right quick. Recently, we've had quite a few victories in the Southern Heritage. And I think we may have already talked about this, but in Texas, we had a school that was renamed for Robert E. Lee. The woke people had it changed during the George Floyd Summer of Love radicalism, but they changed it back. Pete Hedgetheft, he is now have the pictures of Robert E. Lee restored at West Point. He's also pushing for the monument to our leaders, Confederate leaders, to be restored. And listen, folks, he is getting a lot of grief from those people. Now, if you want people like Hedgetheft and Trump and other in your local politicians to stand firm, you got to let them know, hey, we are on your side and we want this done, and we are as Ron said earlier, we are a force to be dealt with. So we've got to be able to do something about that. And one of the things we can do is use our one-click politic. Now, I'm going to ask Jason to just quickly tell us, we sent out on the Telegraph, and again, if you're not on the Telegraph, you didn't get this, but we sent out something on the Telegraph on one-click politic about supporting something that to your congressman that needs to be talked about. Jason, if you just kind of give us a little heads up on that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Commander. And yes, we did. We sent it out on August 27th. Right now, we've had 4,294 people that have responded. And to echo what our Commander-in-Chief said, if we only have a few of these going out, we're not going to get any traction. But we know that the largest response that we had was the one we did called Save Our National Battlefield Monuments. We did that March of last year. We had 6,850 people send emails for that. We know that got talked about. We know that when these emails get sent, very unlikely that the representative is going to see them. Somebody that's on their staff is going to see them. But we do know that that here in the state of Tennessee, that they were walking around up at the Capitol and they were actually talking about it, because there were so many that was sent out during that time. That has an impact. Now, if we only have just a few go out, they don't pay any attention. But when they get, 4,294 emails. Now, how many members of Congress and all that do we have? 500, over 500. So with all of them, 500 of them, 4,294. Now, those numbers need to be quite honest, need to be up above that before we ever start getting a huge impact. Because when we purchased One Click Politics and we were talking to them, they start paying attention when you have 40 or 50% of them that receive these. That's when they start having these conversations. So we need to be sending like that 6,850 needed to be double that. It needed to be 13,000, 14,000. And we know that they would have had conversations about it. Now, I'm not saying that there's not some of them that's still not having conversations at 4,294. And I'm looking at the numbers now. I have One Click Politics pulled up right now looking. And I'm going to look at because the interface, all of this has changed. The reporting has changed. I'm going to see if I can get a breakdown by zip codes, by states, by things like that, so we can find out, okay, who is actually taking and doing this. Now, we have under 25,000 members. We only have about 15,000 email addresses in our Telegraph database. And yes, if you're a member, if you give us your email address, you can get on the Telegraph. But please don't unsubscribe, okay? Because if you unsubscribe, you're gone. If you forward it to somebody, take off the subscription piece so they don't unsubscribe you. But, this could be, so if we send out 15,000, 4,294 have responded. So that's roughly a third. And now if we had 2/3, we know that we'd be having an impact. We know we're having a little bit of an impact, but we can go into this more. But we have, in the last 2 years, we've done 12 campaigns. And we have, you mentioned earlier, the letter to Stone Mountain. And when we actually sent one to Governor Kemp concerning Stone Mountain, sent one to him, that was done February of 24, February 7th to be exact. And 931 people sent something in. Now, that only went to the people in the state of Georgia. That did not go out all over our Confederation. What we just did with the, let's just call it the Strickland amendments, that went to the entire Confederation. What went to Save Our National Battlefield went to the entire Confederation. What was sent concerning Governor Kemp and then working on one right now for Mississippi. And I need to talk to Connor about that because I've got it prepped and I've sent it to him, but I haven't heard anything from him. So I know he's had other priorities in his life right now. So I'm not going to mention it on here. If you can, Moose, you can. If you want to, you can. But I'm not. So when I get back with him, he gets back with me, we'll get that worked out on it. But that's only going to go to certain zip codes in the state of Mississippi. We can tailor this down to the city. I live in Mount Pleasant. If we needed to, we could do a one-click politics just to talk to all of the politicians in Mount Pleasant, period. So we can talk from everybody from a city level all the way up to the highest. We can't send anything to the president, but we can send anything up to Congress and through them. And if you give me a particular email address, let's say it's the dog catcher that I've heard somebody refer to earlier, we could send one straight to the dog catcher. So we have that capability. This is a very powerful tool. We're using it. It would be nice if our members, more of them, would take the 3 minutes, 2 minutes it takes to fill this out and click send.
That too.
And if you take 2 minutes and click send, forward it to your parents, your grandparents, your brothers, your sister, your mom and dad, whoever, and just have them do it as well. With this capability, all of us have friends. We're Southerners. You know, by nature, we have family and we have friends that think like we do. Send it to them and have them get involved, because this is a powerful tool.
Thank you.
And there are some people that have had problems with it. The only one that I have that have contacted me, you have to put in your salutation. You have to put in whether you're a Mr. or Ms. or anything like that. And if you put that in, it goes through. I have had 4 people contact me. I see Tom Vernon has mentioned that he is having a problem. Try doing it with the salutation like Mr. Tom Vernon, and then put your address in, and that's all you have to do. Mr., type your address in. It's going to fill in your signature. Click send. That's it. That's all you have to do. If you leave any of those fields empty, it's not going to send it. So please fill in those fields. And Tom, if you're still having a problem, contact me, and I'll figure out we'll work on the issue and get it fixed for you.
Good. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. And folks, we're going to go into this in much more detail at the Confederate Legion training session this Saturday. So if you want to know how, and listen to what he's saying. This is not your dad's and granddad's SCV. We're doing something here that has never been done before, and we're doing a lot of things that have been done before in a bigger and better and different way. So this is not the old SCV that sits around and talks about Civil War battles and leaders and eat and retreat and go home and hide your Confederate flag so you don't offend anybody. Those days are gone. This is your new SCV. That's what you get for electing somebody like me and Jason. It's y'all's fault. Y'all elected us. And Jason and I have been working on it, and Ron, and I can't say enough good about Harrison and Connor. They're good work in this. So, Jason, right quick, we're running low on time, but can you just tell a real quick update on Forrest Plaza? Where do we stand there?
Oh, you muted yourself.
Let me unmute my mic. I have a tendency to turn it off in case, well, she finds my neck ribbon. I'm looking for my 21st Century Confederate Heroes neck ribbon. I had it at the National Reunion, and Ron said something about get your 21st Century neck ribbon and put on. So I go to get it, and could we not find it. When we packed up to come home from the National Reunion, I wore for the banquet on Saturday night, I wore my Past Commander-in-Chief neck ribbon. I can't find that either. We know it's packed. We know we brought it home. I'm just going to have to find it. So next time I come on, I'm going to make sure I wear my 21st Century Confederate Heroes. Getting back to but that's the reason why I'm muted in case she come in the door. Hey, I found it. The Forrest Plaza. Everybody knows it's going to be 50 feet wide, 75 feet deep, nearly 21 feet to the top of Forest Head. I've been in contact with, we've already had people come on site. We've already done the 3D imaging of the repairing the tail and putting a saber on. We've already got a 3D image, a good image of an 1840s cavalry saber, which is what Forrest carried. We've already done the spot where it attaches to the belt and swings around to the saber. All of that's already been being worked on. That's being cast as we speak, and it's being cast in light bronze. We had very high quality bronze in this statue. And I'll go and tell you again, we asked about how much it would cost, and they said it'd be about $300,000 to produce that equestrian statue now. And the gentleman said that the bronze was so good that even if it got wadded up, as long as it didn't get shredded and we could get all the pieces, we could recast it out of that same bronze again. It is that good of a material. So they've using light bronze for that. They are expecting to, actually, I'm expecting them end of this month, beginning of next month, to be on site. They say they're going to have about 3 days worth of work. They're going to attach the tail. They're going to put the saber on. They're going to touch up a few places like on the top of his head. Then they're going to clean it. Then they're going to wax it. Then they're going to do the 3D imaging of it. Then they're going to the Jeff Davis statue. They're going to clean and wax it as well. And now that's phase one of just taking care of the equestrian statue. Now we're talking about building the plaza. We getting real close to getting the plans. The gentleman that is doing is doing the architectural work came on site. He verified that we have all of the pieces that we need. We're getting everything put in order. We're getting everything labeled. He's already talked to the structural engineer. We're going to have those plans and we're going to be ready to go. We did talk about it because when he was on site, we needed to do something about the ground because of the slope of the hill. Even though it's pretty flat, there's still quite a bit of slope for something that's 50 feet wide and 75 feet deep. Remember where the bodies are buried at the start of that concrete pad going back, that's starting the 50 feet going, 75 feet going back. So that's going to go all the way back to where the ridge is. And, you know, off to one side, we have Simeon Cummins buried. We have the Looney family cemetery. And on this side, we have Elm Springs. So he suggested that we bring somebody on and we take and survey it off. And we did. And we surveyed off such a big area because we're starting at and he went and he started at the Robert E. Lee statue. And he went from there. And if you were at the reinterment, you know where the artillery pieces were setting up? He surveyed all the way over to there. And you come around to where, if you're familiar where the site is now, how it starts to fall off that hill, he did to there. He went all the way over to the driveway. He went all the way back to where the sidewalk turns at the back of the house. Because all of that, we're going to have to get a survey done because we got to make sure all that water falls off the way that it needs to. We still know that we're going to have to dig down. We're going to have to put in French drains. All of that is being done. I will be in touch. And then when we go to do the repair work on the equestrian statue, and they're actually going to be there on site, we might need to shut the property down because I don't want people to interfere with the work that they're going to be doing. Because when we were there doing some of this work, I have no problem with people showing up, but you know, we have people coming over, asking questions, interrupting the work, that kind of thing. And especially when we go to start moving dirt, that's going to end up being something that we really have to talk about. But right now we're doing well. It's not progressing nearly as fast as I wish that it would. The major problem that we're having is getting a structural engineer involved because it was bricked underneath it when it was in Memphis. We're doing one solid concrete pour pad so we don't have water running down into it. So this is going to be one solid pad built and then have the base set on top of that and then have the equestrian statue on top of it. Yeah. That's what's going to put it so far in the air. But you got to think that one block that is the base is 10,500 pounds. And then the equestrian statue is 5,500 pounds. So all of that weight we have to distribute out. And it's sir.
Yeah, that's why we have a structural engineer, and we're going to do it right. It's just not us out there doing it ourselves. So thank you, Jason. I appreciate and I appreciate your hard work, and we're going to keep pushing, get this project finished. Right quick, I would like to talk a little bit about our Camp Heritage Promotion Officer. Most camps do not have a Heritage Promotion Officer, and I really like, Ron, if you could just give us a little idea and about what a Heritage Promotion Officer in your camp should do.
Okay, well, I've got about 2 minutes, and you know,
Kennedy
Kennedy can't talk just 2 minutes, but the Heritage Promotion Officer, as I've already said, is the person that's really the spark plug for the effort to get the information out to the community. But he doesn't do it all by himself. He's the one that helps to orchestrate and organize the members in order to do it. Because when we have say you clean a tombstone, wonderful things. We do that all the time, but we don't pat ourselves on the back publicly, and that is detrimental when the Black Lives Matter people go to the county commissioner and tell them to take that monument down. We haven't been telling the county commissioners what good work we've been doing. I know of a camp in Louisiana that spent just about all day cleaning a cemetery of World War I veterans that was totally overgrown. And guess what? They were African-American World War I veterans. That kind of information should have gone out to every elected official in the state. But to let them know. Now, it's the responsibility of the Heritage Promotion Officer to do that, but he's got to be equipped with the tools. He's got to know how to use them. And we'll go over it, all the things you need to do, which isn't that much, but in order to get your list up, you should have a list of all your people in the community that you want to be sending this information to. There's just, it doesn't take a lot of time. It just takes dedication. And remember, your heritage promotion is your best defense against a heritage attack. Your heritage promotion is the best thing you can do to assure that you win if you have to go to court. Your heritage promotion is the thing that promotes and defends our Confederate heritage. And it takes a dedicated individual, an educated individual. I don't mean a PhD educated. You don't have to be a Sandy Mitchum PhD in order to do it, but you just an old simple country boy like Ron and Don Kennedy can do it. So it's something that we need in order to, and you also is responsible for orchestrating your camp with the division efforts and the national efforts, such as with the one-click politics. So it all works together. But as we've said over and over again, the SCV is not a national organization in as much as it's ran and the work is done at Elm Springs and the national headquarters. SCV is a local camp level. And if heritage is promoted, it's promoted at the local level. And there's so much that we should be doing, but we haven't done. And that's why we need the heritage promotion officer in every camp.
Yeah, and that's why I've been asking, and I'm going to start pushing even more, our division commanders to get your camps organized in such a manner that they'll have good heritage promotion individuals. But those people need to be trained, and they need to go to these training sessions so we can sit down and talk and show you how to do this. Jason just mentioned we had 4,000 responses on the one-click. Just think, if we had every SCV camp had a heritage promotion officer, and that heritage promotion officer got this information about this one-click, he goes to his camp and say, okay, this is what our job is this week. We got to get this information out. Just think of the results that we could have. Social media, your social media is really a great way that doesn't cost us anything, that we can use your camp members, your camp and social members. And Harrison, I'm going to put the monkey on your back, because we're going to come up with some videos about Thanksgiving, the real Thanksgiving, and also about the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Can you get us some videos to put on social media?
Oh, yes, sir. I have a couple surprises up my sleeve for the 250 that I think the Kennedy twins will enjoy, as well as the rest of our members. It will be a great year if you haven't started a camp social media to start one.
Yeah.
The easiest one to start with is Facebook. It automatically can connect you to an Instagram. Just putting it out there.
Well, and personally, and remember, folks, not only just your camp, but every camp member and their family has social media. And we need to get a presence out there. And that's why these videos that Harrison and Connor are putting together for us, you can download that and put it on your personal social media, and it goes out to hundreds of thousands of people. And it doesn't cost the SCV anything, and yet we're getting great results. And the public begins to understand we are out there. That group, that SCV, they're busy. They're doing things now. So again, I can't say enough good things about Connor and Harrison and their work in getting this going for us. So all that is parcel of what we're doing. Remember, Ron has said that, and Tony has asked, I think Tony Griffin, our Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief, made a comment about the billboard campaign that he is heading up in April. We're going to be doing that. We need help on that. We need every camp, every division to get active and get involved. This is not just a one-time, we're going to do it one April and forget about it from then on. We're going to do it every year until the whole of the South knows who the SCV is, what we believe, why we are proud of our heritage, and why they need to join us. I made the comment in our 130th reunion in Houston this past July that if they know, we will grow. If the general population knows who we are, why we believe what we believe, and why they should be proud, this organization will grow. I'm not trying to build an organization. I'm trying to convince my fellow Southerners that this organization reflects what they already feel, and therefore they will want to join us. You don't fry a chicken by just putting grease in the pan. You got to heat it up. I think it was old Mayo C. Tung used to say, what was that Ron Mayo used to say?
It said the fish of revolution will not spawn in cold water. First, the revolutionaries must warm the waters. You warm the waters and the fish of revolution will then spawn. It's our job to warm the waters.
And that is exactly what we have been pushing. Ron and I have been pushing it since we first wrote The South Was Right back in, I think, 1992. And, and we've continued to go. The idea is to tell the public, hey, you ought to be proud of your ancestors. You have no reason to apologize. And look on the social media now, you'll see more and more people saying, hey, you don't have to be ashamed of your heritage and who you are. Just because you're proud to be a Confederate doesn't mean that you're un-American. You're probably more American than anybody else. So we have a lot to do, ladies and gentlemen. This organization has come a long way. We've got a good ways to go, but using the tools that have been created for us in the last couple of years, we can have a great impact, a positive impact. And like I said, people like Pete Hegseth, he's going to be attacked for putting Robert E. Lee's picture back. He's already been attacked, putting Robert E. Lee's picture back at West Point and, quote, protecting, honoring those people who defended slavery. And that's what those people are saying. And that's why it's so important for us to get our message out, and why it's so important for you to send somebody to these Confederate Legion training sessions so they can go back to your camp, your division, your brigades, and organize a really, really strong effort to defend and promote our heritage. Yes, sir.
Derek Glover says in the comments, says, once the fish of revolution spawn, we need to reel them in. I like that, Derek.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. Well, with all that said, unless Harrison or Jason, you have anything, I'm not going to give Ron another chance to say anything.
Just remind them about Saturday one more time.
Right.
Confederate Legion training session, Elm Springs, this Saturday. Registration starts at 8:30. We'll start promptly at 9. We'll be finished at 3. We'll hang around if you want to visit.
There you go. Jason, you have anything to add?
No, sir. I believe the Kennedy twins have said enough, and I agree with everything you have said.
Hey, you're not the first person to say the Kennedy twins have said enough.
I was about to say, I don't know if that was just like a quick Jason jab or what that was.
A form of Freudian slip, I think. Harrison, I'll push it back to you to let you get us out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Confederates, fellow Americans, I appreciate all that y'all are doing in this organization. Together, we can be victorious. So let's get with it. Harrison, it's all yours, sir.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please make sure to share it out to all your camps, brigades, armies, divisions, any SCV or Confederate-friendly person. Share it with them. Never know what might come from it. Make sure to tune in Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday next week at 7 o'clock Confederate Standard Time for your next week's worth of SCV chat. Good night, everybody, and stay Southern.